Welcome to this month's RC Racing. In a break with tradition, this month we're going to give you a chance to catch up on all the best from our previous 4 shows whilst we go off and film some really good new stuff. So we've got action in 112 from Las Vegas, from around England, but unfortunately no night racing. And now the first of 2 visits to the Cotswolds Club for the BRCA National Finals. And with your race commentary, it's John Hindhoff.
It's a fantastic 10-driver grid here with the world and European champion, the current British champion, and of course a real veteran of the sport in Craig Drescher. There's some good youngsters in here as well. Let's have a quick look down the grid. And there is our pole man, Andy Moore, world and European champion. Alongside him, the youngster, 20-year-old, lined up for the first corner already. That's Ollie Jeffries. Chris Granger is twice a British champion. He's in 3rd. Elliot Harper, one of the young talents coming through. Darren Stiles and John Borden on row number 3. And a real veteran of the sport, Craig Drescher, along with Chris Ashton on row 4. Stuart Noble and Glenn Dorman on the back row of the grid. Stand by for action then. Will Andy Moore get the start? Look at the concentration. Staggered start, as you can see. Andy doesn't really have the run to the first corner, and there will be a speed differential from the cars behind him. He's got to hold on as they shoot off, and he has got the drop. Andy Moore with Ollie Jeffries, who's had a cracking weekend here, just trailing him at the moment, and these are the first 2 into the technical part of the circuit. And you notice that they're staying well clear of the curbs here. They are quite severe here at Kemble, and it's very easy to upset the car's balance. So there's the leading 2, and it looks like Granger still in 3rd place. Yes, it is. Gets the right result here, Chris. He can retain his British Championship today. But at the moment, he's just about hanging on to the lead pair. Top 3 getting away just a little bit. And Andy Moore is under a lot of pressure here, being pushed very hard by young Ollie Jeffries, who is right there, almost within striking distance. Just got a little bit of a wiggle on, got on the power a little bit early there, coming out of the right-hander onto the start-finish straight, and now he's starting to be a bit more aggressive. Look, you can see the light pink-coloured car, the front end of it at least, just riding the curves a little bit. Not sure that it actually did him any good. Oh, has a little look down the inside there, but the door was firmly closed by the world champion. Andy Moore's had lots of pressure put on him over the last year, both here and abroad, been representing the UK, of course, very well indeed. I'm not sure he's had quite as much pressure as he has right now, because there's been no let-up right from the off here. Can't take your eyes off this 3-way battle for the lead. Chris Granger also been racing abroad this year, though not quite with the same success as our leader, Andy Moore. Granger just dropping away in 3rd. Now here's this battle again. Ollie Jeffries in 2nd place at the moment, and again he dodges out to the right-hand side. Gets right up close under braking there to that hairpin, but can't make the pass stick. You've got to wonder what's going through the mind of these guys. They are pushing very, very hard indeed. These electric motors providing a huge amount of torque, and you can see just how quickly these cars punch out the corners. Again, Jeffries having a little look. The 2 hot body Cyclones drivers leading the field at the moment. Jeffries must fancy himself here, hanging on to Andy Moore, and this is a tremendous weekend for the youngster. He'll be revelling in this at the moment, and again the pressure being applied. They're back down the field. Still, that's 3rd place. Chris Granger just hanging on, but he can't really live with the pace of these 2. Now this is as close as it has been for some time. Under braking again. Jeffries has a little look. This technical part of the circuit, no room for any errors whatsoever from the leader, and you can see there's really no one other than that first 3 that are still in the picture. That's going to be the podium surely, but which of the positions are going to be taken? And Andy Moore now feels the pressure, has to start taking the curbs now, because he's got that car right behind him. Ollie Jeffries pushing. Who is going to blink first? I'm not sure there's anything more in the speed cabinet for any of these guys. It's now just going to be about concentration and commitment across the line, completing another lap. And again, you can't believe how hard this is, driving so close to another car. And again, Ollie has a little look, just can't get it. He's really punching out of that final corner very well indeed. but just can't get alongside to make a challenge. Now, Andy's well versed in repelling, shall we say, rather physical driving, but Ollie Jeffries is playing it by the book at the moment. No paint traded. And another lap, and you just wonder whose concentration is going to go first. And problems for one of the runners further down the field there. I think that's Elliot Harper who's pulled up on the side of the circuit. That's a shame for him. Qualified in 4th position. The junior into this final. Oh, again, a big lunge down the inside from Ollie Jeffries, and fair play to him. He backed out of it. Discretion, the better part of valour. He's certainly giving the world champion the respect he deserves, at least in the overtaking department. He's not trying anything that really isn't on. He's not trying to force the situation. Now, back markers beginning to come into it now. You can see just ahead, we're beginning to catch the cars at the tail end of the field. Now, just like full-size motor racing, this could be the opportunity that Jeffries needs. Andy Moore has not had this kind of pressure from anyone in the world for quite some time. Great driving by the back markers, in fact, who've seen the leaders coming through. Heads up driving, any motor racing, it's always important to see what's going on around here. A mistake by Andy Moore. He's cracked under the pressure of Ollie Jeffries across the curbs. And as you see there, we were talking about them earlier on. You can't use those chicane curbs. Here it is again. Gets the whole back of the car airborne. He's going to be looking to get away with any damage, although he does get it pointing in the right direction. That leaves Ollie Jeffries in the lead. Oh, well, his lead's been diminished a little bit by Granger. Chris Granger could win the championship. Gone through. Could win the British Championship here. And Granger's gone through on the last lap to win it. Ollie Jeffries, well, some kind of problem with Jeffries' car there. Losing speed. He will take 2nd position, though. Confirmation of the results then here at Kemble. It's Chris Granger wins this one and adds another British Championship to his collection. Ollie Jeffries dumped on the final lap. That early high-speed pursuit of Andy Moore taking its toll, and Andy Moore from pole position, well, I think he'll just be a little bit disappointed with 3rd, won't he? Cracked under the pressure. Craig Drescher, well, he came through from the 4th row of the grid to 4th position, and it was Noble, Bowden, Ashton, Doman, Styles and Elliot Harper with the problems, finishing in 10th position.
HPI's Baja 5B. The 1/5 petrol buggy, famous for driving hundreds of miles across the desert, trekking all the way around Iceland, we're not sure if the Baja can be stopped. But now, HPI have unleashed the Baja 5B SS. Loaded with tons of hop-ups that enhance its speed and power and improve its unshakable durability even further. At the heart of the Baja SS is the Fuelie 26cc petrol engine with specially designed aluminium tune pipe, making it a dominant rugged beast with jaw-dropping power coursing through its veins. Coping with all this power is no picnic, but the HPI Baja SS is all about unstoppability. With its anodized aluminium chassis, aluminium diff case, heavy-duty rear dog bones, there's too many features to list here, but a trip to HPI's website should fill in the gaps. With its breathtaking performance, not to mention stunning looks, are you ready for HPI's Baja 5B SS?
Milton Keynes in September means one thing, the National 12 Championships. And here, with commentary of the modified A final, once again, it's John Hindhoff.
There we see on pole position Andy Griffiths debuting this new Hot Bodies Cyclone. Alongside him Keith Robertson on the associated 12L4. Row 2, Chris Kurzweil from London has Mark Stiles, the Oxford student, for company. Row 3, Andy Sawyer and Mick Farrell. Should be able to pick that car colour out at least. Michael Ramsbottom in the bright yellow machine with Paul Ash. And on the back row, Elliot Harper in his first ever 12th meeting. Alongside him, Chris Carter. The start absolutely crucial in this open modified A final. Brushless motors, very quick machines, fast off the line, and there they go. And Poleman Griffiths gets away, and there's a bit of carnage behind. That looks like Kurzweil and Andy Sawyer getting together. As through goes Griffiths, leading for Robertson in second place. Looks like everyone has got back on the wheels and rolling again, as Andy Griffiths tries to develop a little bit of a lead. You see these cars really punching out of the corners. And there is the leader, Griffiths, from Robertson. It's Mick Farrell that's up into third place. Yes, it is. And that's been a good start from him from the outside of row 3. Just watch these cars. Long race this, of course. 8 minutes of racing, and you have to rather pace yourself. The additive that goes on the tyres does go away. You use it up or leave it on the carpet, and the handling of the cars will change. So it's about getting into a rhythm earlier on, settle yourself down, and then reacting to how the car changes as the race progresses. And that's the real skill of this form of racing. Big crowd here at Milton Keynes. And now looking at that battle for 5th position. Clark and Kurzweil recovering from some problems early on. Kurzweil in the white and red car, closing in on Clark. Started right at the back of the grid, Clark, and made a reasonable start. Putting his way through that carnage, and now he's going to have to defend a little bit. Just got a quick look at Farrell there, going through ahead of this battle behind him. Oh, little mistake there. Bang on the side wall of the circuit. Looked as though it was pretty square on. I don't think there's going to be too much damage done there. Can he get it right this time? Yes, a little bit more circumspect as he comes through this time, but he's really now under some pressure, and there the pressure has told. Pressure has told, and he's dropped not 1 but 2 places there. He'll be kicking himself at making that elementary error in the midfield, but he was under some pressure. Let's have another look. Yes, hits the wall, and in fact he's lost 3 places as Sawyer and Styles go through as well. Now that's Keith Robertson, who's chasing down the leader, Andy Griffiths. At the moment, Griffiths looks like he's got this one under control. There he is, just disappearing out of the shot. That's 3rd place man, Mick Farrell, another one of those new hot body cyclone machines. Mick, who for some unknown reason likes to be known as Viking on the forum. Works for Mirage, the sister company to HPI up in Derbyshire. Holding down a good 3rd position at the moment. Meantime, back at the head of the field, Andy Griffith coming now to do a bit of lappery. And he really needs to keep concentration here. That's Chris Clark, who he's just gone by. And he's now really got to pick his way through these midfield runners, hasn't he? Now here's the battle for 3rd place. Mick Farrell goes wide! And there's Chris Kurzweil, the Londoner, goes through into 3rd position. Farrell will be absolutely desolate about that. But look, he's picked up his pace, and he's not letting the car ahead. Kurzweil, oh, he's taken him out! Oh, dear me, well, perhaps a little impatient there. I said he picked up his pace. Let's have another look at it. Carves up underneath. Ooh, I wonder if Chris Kurzweil will be keeping Mick Farrell on his Christmas card list after that one. But Mick back into 3rd position, and you can see, can't you, that that's almost walking him up. Just look at the body language of the car. It's a lot more twitchy. He's putting a lot more input into it. He's really urging that car on. And well, he needs to, because Kurzweil, despite that bump, is still there. Look, there it is. This 3rd place battle, the closest on the carpet at the moment. There's Farrell. Oh, that was nice and neat through there. And he's just calming himself down again. You can see slightly less steering input. The car now smoothing out through the corners, whereas before it was almost like going around the corners of a 50 fence piece. He's just slackening off his grip on the sticks and relaxing a little bit, letting the carpet come to him. But Farrell is not being shaken off, has he? Look at that. Still in there, and once again, lap traffic coming up as we go back to the leader, Andy Griffith, who, well, despite the Michael Ramsbottom spin in front of him on the Corelli, is not letting his concentration wane. He has had this one from the very off. And the speed of these cars, let me tell you, is immensely quick on the carpet. Keith Robertson in second has not had the pace of the leader, qualified in second place, but really the closest he's been to him is when he was sitting alongside him on the grid. There's that battle for third with Farrell and Kurzweil still at it, hammer and tongs. There they are through the infield section. Farrell gave it up at third position for just a lap, but he's now under pressure. Oh, and a mistake there. Kurzweil tags the inside wall, and that's rather let Mick the Viking Farrell off the hook. It puts Andy Sawyer up to fourth position. There he is, and he's got the race leader, in fact now the race winner, right behind him as Andy Griffith comes through to take it. But what a drive from Andy Sawyer. Remember, involved in that first corner incident, was right at the back, and he'll come through to fourth position. A win then for the debuting Hot Bodies Cyclone of Andy Griffiths from Keith Robertson in second place, Mick Farrell third, Sawyer that tremendous fourth position. What a recovery drive. Styles, Kurzweil, Clark, Ash, Ramsbottom and Harper.
And now we rejoin John Heinhoff for commentary on the second A final at the Cotswolds Club. Take it away, John.
Well, no complaints about the action in the first A final here at Kemble. Let's hope we have a similar treat here in the second one. We know the British champion now, of course, and as we can see, our cameraman ready to go on our grid walk. So let's have a look. Here's Andy Moore on pole position. Ollie Jeffries will feel a little aggrieved perhaps he didn't take the first final here, dumped on the very last lap. Chris Granger is now 3 times a British champion in consecutive years, and Elliot Harper will be looking for a better run this time around. Darren Stiles and John Bowden are on row 3. Craig Drescher, well, he made up positions last time. Chris Ashton alongside him. Stuart Noble and Glenn Dorman on the back row. Well, will Andy Moore get the start again here? There he is on the left of the picture. And just look at the angle on the outside of the front row for Ollie Jeffries as we wait the countdown. Chris Granger in third. He's lined up the opposite direction, which is rather confusing to see those two cars in the middle of the picture there. And off we go. And again, Andy Moore gets the run. And this time he's opened up a very quick and handy gap. Last time we saw tremendous battling between the front two. And they're getting away again. Ollie Jeffries really did put the world champion under some pressure in the first A final here, but he's not quite with it this time. And in fact, he's coming under pressure himself now from Granger. And in fourth place, from fourth on the grid, that's the 14-year-old Elliot Harper. He's on real good form this weekend in exalted company. Really must be, along with Ollie Jeffries, real talent for the future. And this battle for second, third and fourth now just beginning to drop away from Andy Moore, who has once again made his escape into the distance. Through they come again. You can see the cars actually do get airborne in a couple of places here, and if you listen very carefully, there's other places where the chassis of the car is grounding out. That's the start-finish line here is one of them. Moore getting away in the lead, and from Derbyshire. Certainly does not have the challenge, and he's pacing himself a lot more. There's the gap between first and second, and certainly established in second place now. Ollie Jeffries, the 20-year-old, just can't seem to put the pressure on Andy as he did the first time round. Then Granger, Elliot Harper, that's the first 4 as they were on the grid. Just at the bottom end of the top 6, Ashton, Noble and Dorman, which I think were a prog rock band in the 1970s, weren't they? They're having their own little private battle and not really being able to challenge, just not quite close enough to the big dive up the inside into one of the braking areas. That right kink before the hairpin, certainly a favourite of some of the drivers this weekend. Glenn Dorman really pressuring Stuart Noble. He's made a mistake, got too deep in the corner, and Dorman goes through. So that's a position made up. Can he hold on to it? He's not really getting away. Bit of a gift when he went through on the inside, but took his opportunity well, and now has got to try and make good his escape. Here's the scene of the crime, and he's got through it fine. Meantime, back at the front of the field. There is Andy Moore, who has really not had quite as much work to do in this one, has he? As we've seen earlier in the weekend, picking his lines, able to roll on and off the throttle. He's not having to go so deep into the corners. Remember, we had one of the first three dump on the final lap on the previous race here, so all of these drivers will be just a little bit worried about the longevity of the cells. And it looks to me as if Ollie Jeffries is just closing in again. And I wonder who has paced themselves the better of these two, as Jeffries once again drags up to the back of the leader. World champion, remember, Andy Moore. Jeffries just 20. Well, he's really shown some tremendous form this weekend. Caught the eye of many of the experienced people in the paddock. Been a lot of talk about this young man. And he is definitely closing down on Andy Moore. And Moore again starts to take the curbs. And that was his undoing first time out here. He's got to keep control of that car. If it gets airborne, he's in real trouble. Did a little bit of off-road racing, did Andy Moore last year. Not really his forte. Couldn't quite get used to the car in the air as much as it was there. And it has, as I say, proved his undoing this week. And again, he's up on the curbs. He's feeling the pressure again from Jeffries, who's almost within striking distance. And I don't see any major mistakes being made by Moore. He just hasn't got the pace in this last third of the race. And Jeffries now, will he give the world champion some respect as he did in the earlier race? He's having a little look. That's his favourite spot there, into that right-hander before the heavy braking into the hairpin, across the start-finish line. Is there another chance down the inside here? He's right alongside. That's a tremendous piece of driving by the youngster. Pressure all the time now for the leader, and you can see that Andy's just riding the curbs. Here's the spot again on the circuit where Jeffries likes it, and you saw there that the leader had to go very defensive. Andy Moore knows he's in a battle now, down towards the hairpin. Oh, and a slightly wide entry to that one by Jeffries, but it's paid off. It's paid off. I thought it was a mistake there, but he got a really good run. And oh, Andy Moore is slowing down. Now, is this the same problem coming towards the end? The rest of the leader's gone as well. Jeffries makes a mistake coming through the chicane. Well, he had it all to do, and Chris Granger once again on the last lap inherits the victory, and it'll be 2 for 2 for the newly crowned British champion. He'll take the meeting as well. He's got to be thinking his luck's in this weekend. Get some money on the lottery, Chris. A rueful shake of the head. He'll take the victory, will Chris Granger. There's Andy Moore. I think he dumped it again on the last lap, with Ollie Jeffries coming in second. Granger, Jeffries and Moore then. Elliot Harper holding on to fourth position from Styles, Bowden, Doman, Ashton, Noble and Craig Drescher not making the full distance in 10th position.
Well, that's it for this month's episode of RC Racing, but next month we stop showing you all the glamorous locations and start showing you the race action itself. From the Indoor International Championship here in Las Vegas. The action's hot, in some ways the women are even hotter, but more importantly, it's all here on RC Racing next month. "24-hour fun machine."